A survivor of abuse is sharing her story after years of being considered a convicted felon. Well, now her voting rights have been restored.
Gina Patterson joins us with how she's trying to thrive, even voting with her daughter for the first time this past election.
Gina Dobson calls her story a miscarriage of justice. She went from experiencing abuse to quickly taking a turn after she escaped her ex to false imprisonment. Now, 25 years later, her story recently earned her the Courageous Activist Award. The journey to this point has not been easy. Gina Dobson is now recognized as a woman of impact. Her speech gives some insight into her experience with the justice system.
It was very moving and validating and humbling that we're all just people that ultimately need one another for our strength.
In May 1998, Gina and her baby boy had escaped an abusive relationship with just a piggy bank and help from her boss, who arranged a safe house.
That's the first time I told somebody I was being abused.
On Easter of that year, her abuser pulled a shotgun on her. She knew then she had to get out.
2 weeks later, a SWAT team showed up and I was arrested for murder. He had called the police. He reported the miscarriage I'd had 5 years earlier, which was actually before I'd even met him. He reported that it was not a miscarriage, that I'd had a live birth, and that I had killed the baby.
Virginia Beach police arresting her despite not having any evidence.
The detectives who questioned me didn't believe that I was abused.
Gina was extradited to her home state of Illinois on a $3 million bond.
During the 10 days, I was exchanged between overcrowded prison vans, sometimes in a cage, always shackled and handcuffed with very little food and water.
She wrote letters to her family from jail for months.
I was locked up in Illinois. My abuser comes forward and says, I want full custody of our son.
Since the odds were stacked against her, she entered a guilty plea to a lesser felony of concealment of a homicide for a crime she never committed.
I didn't trust the process anymore, and I took that deal, and that's how I got to go home and raise my children, and I don't regret that.
As a convicted felon, she took up acting as a hobby with her daughter.
I found the opportunity to be someone else, to be a relief, but then also being the truest of myself.
And it's on the stage where she met Carla Kelly Turner. Carla later encouraging her to share her story.
Gina has a way of holding on to her joy despite. Her story is everybody's story.
And to learn more about her work to empower women through film, I'll share that information for you over on wavy.com under the Domestic Violence Awareness page. Gina Patterson, 10 on your side.